Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Nimmer and I'm going to show you how to paint a tree. It's really simple, it's just the basics. Anybody can do this, even beginners. So I'm just going to jump right in and start the tutorial. So the first thing we'll need is this kind of brush. It's a small or medium flat brush with a rounded tip. We'll take dark brown paint and we're going to paint the trunk of the tree going bottom up, making it thicker at the bottom and skinnier at the top so that it looks as realistic as possible. So the easiest way to do branches is to just go with this Y shape where every time you branch it off, it branches off, making a Y. This is the most easiest, realistic looking way that we can paint branches. Sometimes if you try and go a little too crazy with the branches, it can just end up looking unrealistic. So we're just going to continue this Y-shaped pattern for all of our branches. Although remember not to make too many branches, otherwise it can look cluttered and unnatural. Just a few will be perfect, and we can always go back in and create more. Now we're going to take a slightly lighter shade of brown and we're going to pick a side of the tree that we want the sunlight to shine on it. And that way we can make the effect of light and shadows. So we're going to do that throughout the whole tree, even the branches, just sticking to that one side that we want the effect to be on. Now we're going to start painting our leaves, and there's two different kinds of brushes that we can use for doing this. Although they both end up in the end looking pretty much the same and they both look natural. One we can use is this one. It's a flatter brush and the bristles kind of spray out. Or the other one we can use is this small round brush. It's kind of thick and the bristles are harder. That way it'll make a little bit more of a clump of leaves, like more circular patterns. You can use either one. They both will look natural and they will both look good. I'll demonstrate both of them. I'll use the round one on the left side and the flat one on the right side. To actually paint the leaves, you're just going to tap your brush on the paper with a dark green. And by tapping this, instead of using strokes, it'll look more like clumps of leaves and look more natural than if you did strokes, and then it wouldn't look like anything. Now I'm going to leave a few gaps in between the leaves so that we can go back later and fill them in with more branches to make it look a little more natural. You don't have to do that, it's just choice. But other than those few gaps, you should fill in all of the white spaces. Now I'm going to use the other brush, the flat one, and we're just going to paint it using the same exact kind of way that we painted it before. Just those tapping motions onto the canvas. And it'll create pretty much the same look, just a little bit different, a little less obviously circular and a little more flat. And but ultimately pretty much the same kind of look. So it's your personal preference. Whichever one you like more, you can use. And we're just going to continue this tapping motion throughout the whole canopy of leaves, just leaving those few gaps that we're going to come in and fill in later with the branches, and other than that, filling in all the rest of the white spaces. Now we're going to take a lighter shade of green, and we're going to go back onto the same side that we've picked for the trunk for the sunlight source to come on, and do that with the canopy of leaves. We're just going to stick to that side but go throughout the whole tree so that it will make that sunlight and shadows kind of effect again on the leaves. Now I'm going to take some white and mix it with this lighter green to make an even lighter green, and go once again on that side that we've been going on, and just put a little bit more in there just to make a little bit more of the effect. Then you can go again if you want with another lighter shade of green or a darker shade of green to make some shadows and highlights. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take this small flat brush, and since we're done with our leaves, I'm going to take that same dark brown that I used for my trunk earlier and make more of those Y-shaped branches in the gaps that we left in the tree. I'm just going to make them nice and thin so they look realistic. And we're going to fill them all in, and then to blend them in once we're done, we're going to take just a little bit off of our brush that we had earlier used for the lighter green and just kind of smudge them in, just kind of blur them in just a little bit. Don't go all the way over it, don't cover them completely, but just kind of blend them in so it looks a little bit more natural. Then I'm going to take that same dark brown again, and using the same brush, I'm going to paint a few more branches in, just thin branches into the trunk of the tree, going into the leaves, just to make it a little bit more natural and make it blend in a little bit more. Once again, I'm not going to add too many, I'm not going to make it look cluttered, but just a few more to make it more realistic looking. And that's it, we're done. That's the basics of how to paint a tree. Anybody can do it, it's super easy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching.